Hello, everyone. This is my presentation on the book Information Hunters When Librarians, Soldiers, and Spies Banded Together in World War II Europe by Kathy Pace. The overview of the book is that it was 296 pages and published by Oxford University Press in 2020. The book is structured in 7 chapters with illustrations along with a prologue, introduction, conclusion, notes, and index. Each individual chapter focuses on the various book collecting missions by the United States government during World War II. I'll break down the summary by chapters. Chapter 1, The Country of the Mind Must Also Attack, and Chapter 2, Librarians and Collectors Go to War. Both these chapters dive deep into the United States' involvement in gathering information and intelligence prior and during World War II throughout Europe. Chapter 1 does an excellent play-by-play account of the United States' effort in gathering important information through everyday printed matter as a form of war intelligence. This printed matter was such as foreign newspapers, magazines, and books from various European countries were studied and analyzed in hopes of unlocking key information. This gathering of information was achieved by enrolling librarians, archivists, and scholars, many of who had very little military background, who were organized and shipped trainloads of books and papers for analysts to study back in the United States. With such a vast amount of information gathered in such a short time, the use of microfilm was introduced to reduce the bulk and weight of the works. They were accumulating, making them easier to transport by diplomatic pouch or in assigned cargo space. Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and Chapter 5 recount the book collection missions by the newly appointed U.S. military library agents who were seeking out intelligence for national security, military planning, and post-war reconstruction. Chapter 4 opens up with the leaders in the library field and officials in the state and war departments developing a blanket buying effort, or as they put it, mass acquisitions for the post-war world. These major acquisitions were supported by the U.S. government logistical and political departments and developed into a unique collection effort called the Library of Congress Mission to Europe. The LCM, which in short existence acquired 1.5 million books, periodicals, and other material for the Library of Congress and numerous research libraries. By 1946, the LCM work was finished and had gathered far more than anyone had anticipated. This included critical German publications and unique Nazi pamphlets, posters, ephemera, and photographs. Chapter 6 and Chapter 7 discuss the task of removing and destroying fascist books from German institutions and the finding of looted books by the Third Reich. Chapter 6 starts with the collapse of the Nazi Germany and the Allies collectively agreeing to purge Nazism from German society and culture. On May 13, 1946, the Allies signed Order No. 4 on the confiscation of literature and material of a Nazi and militarist nature. It prohibited work that promoted Nazism, fascism, militarism, racism, anti-democratic views, and civil disorder. Chapter 7 begins with American troops finding millions of books looted by the Third Reich and hidden in mineshaft caves and remote villages. To save and restore these looted books, archivists, librarians, and scholars and occupation officials joined together to deal and manage millions of books. These book restitution missions helped to gather, identify, and return masses of looted books to countries that they had stolen from. Theoretical basis. The theoretical basis of Information Hunter is to reveal a new and unique perspective on World War II intelligence gathering and post-war reconstruction. Throughout the book, Pace is examining how scholars, librarians, and archivists could enter the theater of war as civilians and help the United States military defeat the Nazis. She reflects on the importance of these books collecting missions to the war effort and how gathering and preserving these items could provide critical information for intelligence purposes. Pice achieves this goal through heavily researched accounts and historical details of military operations throughout Europe. The amount of notes and citations throughout the book help to support her theoretical basis on intelligence gathering, while also revealing the post-war success of American research library collections and academic institutions from these military operations. Primary sources. Information Hunter is a thoroughly researched book that contains over 42 pages of notes as well as an index of 16 pages, with many primary sources and findings referenced. Images used throughout the book help to illustrate the military leaders and people involved with the various book collection missions throughout World War II. Photographs also play a major role with visualizing the locations throughout Europe that were affected by the looting and destruction of books by Nazi Germany. Interpretations and reactions. Information Hunters is an extremely well-researched book that explores the U.S. government role in collecting intelligence through printed matter during World War II. By enrolling librarians, archivists, and scholars, these collecting missions also helped American research libraries become international repositories of scientific reports, literatures, and historical sources. However, a challenging aspect of the book was the extensive use of abbreviations to describe programs and groups set up by the U.S. government. These acronyms are used so frequently in the book that I feel it is very complicated to understand what the authors are referring to. Reception and reviews. Information Hunters received an assortment of positive and critical reviews from various scholarly journals and newspapers. The History of Education Quarterly states an incredibly important slice of World War II history that has largely escaped historical attention. It is a significant contribution to World War II scholarship and a reminder of the preciousness of the written word. The Library Journal also states, well-written and astutely researched books makes the wartime work of librarians engaging and engrossing. Those fascinated by intelligence missions or keen on the history of library science will appreciate this excellent read. The Wall Street Journal states, a fascinating and until now little-known story. Writing in an engaging style, Ms. Pice synthesizes an array of historical details, intriguing personalities, and Byzantine bureaucratic divisions into a coherent narrative. Also listed here are the 3 questions. I will post these in the discussion session of my presentation, along with the bibliography and reference texts. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I'm looking forward to hearing your responses.